All right, so today we're going to talk about a special right triangle. Okay, there are two special right triangles we are going to talk about. I broke them down into 2 different days. The first one we're going to talk about is called a 45, 45, 90 degree right triangle. And the second one's called a 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree right triangle. Okay, today we're going to talk about the easiest of the 2, and that is a 45, 45, 90. Now when I say 45, 45, 90, what I'm talking about are their angles on the inside. Of course, we have a 90 degree angle. I know the side opposite is what?
90.
What's the side opposite called? What's opposite the 90 degree angle? What side is it? Hypotenuse.
Oh,
Okay, so this is the hypotenuse. Okay, this is a leg, and this is a leg. Okay, there's your 90 degree angle. This one will be 45 degrees on all triangles today, and this one will be 45 degrees. That's what I mean when I say 45, 45, 90. Okay, that's what I mean when I say that. All right, now these 45, 45, 90 degree right triangles are also known as isosceles right triangles. Okay, what do you know about isosceles triangles? Somebody tell me, please. Tell me you've learned something this year. What do you know about an isosceles triangle? What do you know about an equilateral triangle? All sides are equal, right? In a scalene triangle, no sides are equal. In an isosceles triangle, guess what? 2 sides are equal. Okay? In a 45, 45, 90, it's called an isosceles right triangle for a reason, and the reason is this. This leg and this leg are equal to each other. Okay? So if that is 2, that's 2. If that's 5, that's 5. If that's 10, that's 10. Always. Okay? For our purposes today, this is going to be X. Any number you want. What's this going to be? This is going to be X also. Okay? And I'm going to do that for a specific reason. Now, there is a rule when you talk about a 45, 45, 90, and that rule is this. Your hypotenuse is square root of 2 times your side. So, this side right here, the hypotenuse, is going to be the side, the leg, times the square root of 2. Okay? That's why we did what we did and talked about radicals. All right? Because we're going to put our answers in radical form. They're not going to be in decimal form. They're going to be in radical form. So, your leg is the same, and your hypotenuse is the leg times the square root of 2. Okay? Is everybody out there? All right, let's look at it. Let's look at some examples. First example, if you're missing the hypotenuse but given a leg. In this case, I'm given one leg here, and I'm asked to find what the other leg is, and I'm asked to find what the hypotenuse is. Okay? That's missing the hypotenuse but given a leg. Okay? In this case, X is one of my legs. And I know that in a 45, 45, 90, that the leg is equal to what?
6.
The other leg, which X would be 6 in this case. So X would be 6. Okay? You see how simple that is? All right? The hypotenuse is the leg times the square root of 2. In this case, you don't need a calculator. So we got 6 times the square root of 2 would be 6 square root of 2. That's what y is equal to, and I'm done.
That's all you write?
Is that hard? That is not hard at all, right? No exact number. That's all you're writing right there. Okay?
So in order to figure out the hypotenuse, you just put one of the legs down and
You just take the leg and you multiply it times the square root of 2. Just like that.
For every
That's it.
problem?
every single one.
Every single one.
Oh, okay.
If you're missing the hypotenuse.
As you're feeling.
Okay? All right?
What if,
Well, go ahead, Amy. What question?
no, I already answered my question.
All right? Again, we are missing the hypotenuse here. We're missing a leg here, but I know right now that what's x equal to? Well, x is gonna be equal to what?
9.
The other leg, which is what? 9 square root of 2. Okay, write down what it is. Okay, now I know that the hypotenuse is the leg times what? Square root of 2. Everybody watch. 9 square root of 2 times square root of 2. Now, that means this. 9 times square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Okay? 9 times. Well, what's square root of 2 times square root of 2? It's 2, right? What's 9 times 2? 18. So my hypotenuse in this case is equal to 18.
Wait, can you redo that?
That's it. Yes.
So if we were to write it like that first one, would we still get credit for it, or would you?
If you were to write it like this, no, you wouldn't get credit for it. You get credit for it here. You have to go ahead and complete it, okay? Because, you know, it's not hard, all right? Anybody have any questions about those? That's if you're missing the hypotenuse.
How'd you do that again? I'm sorry.
Okay, Andy. I know my leg is 9 square root of 2. To find the hypotenuse, I take the leg, 9 square root of 2, and I'll multiply it by the square root of 2. Right? That means, this means this. 9 times the square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Okay? That means 9 square root of 2 times square root of 2 is square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. Or if you just multiply same square root times itself, it's just the number inside. Okay? And then I got 9 times 2 is 18.
Okay.
Okay? Alright. Next type of problems you're going to have today are this. You're missing the leg. Okay? And you got to, but you're given the hypotenuse. You're missing the leg, but you're given the hypotenuse. I'm going to go back to this real quick. To find the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse equals leg times square root of 2. Does that help you? Okay? If you're missing a leg, but you're given the hypotenuse, you're going to take the hypotenuse and you're going to divide it by the square root of 2. Okay? That's going to give you your missing leg. So let's take this first one. I'm missing both my legs here. You can call me Bob. That's going out to the world too, by the way. All right, so here we go. I'm going to take my hypotenuse, 6 square root of 2, and I'm going to divide it by square root of 2. What do you notice about that? What cancels itself?
2.
The square root of 2, right? Cancels, cancels. What am I left with? 6. So guess what? X is 6 and Y is 6. And I'm done.
So you just solved for a leg and the hypotenuse?
No,
Or
I didn't.
you
I solved for both legs.
Okay. Oh, that's easy.
All right, this is a little more complicated, but that's okay. All right, we got to find both our legs. So what am I going to do to the hypotenuse here?
Divide.
I'm going to divide it by what?
2.
Square root of 2. Here we go. What's wrong with that right there?
It doesn't have anything to cancel with?
You have a radical in the denominator. Remember the rules. You cannot have a radical in the denominator. So I must do what? Multiply by what? Top and the bottom by the denominator. Okay? That's the rules to radicals. If you got a radical in the bottom, you multiply the top and the bottom by the radical. Okay? Alright, going back to math. 10 times the square root of 2 is 10 square root of 2. Okay? Divided by square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2. Alright? Does 10 and 2, does it reduce? Yes, what's it reduce to? 5, correct? So I'm left with 5 square root of 2. So my leg in this case is what? 5 square root of 2, 5 square root of 2. Okay? Anybody have any questions?